Hello students, welcome back to Sri Vidyalakshmi Metric Assembly School YouTube channel. We are discussing class 12 physics. We are discussing chapter 2, current electricity. Hope our school videos help you to understand the concept better. We hope it will help you to prepare well for the board examination. You can revise the concept whenever you find time. Okay? Today we shall discuss resistivity, resistors in series and parallel, and then carbon resistor. These are the topics to be covered in part 2. Resistivity. Resistivity is resistance offered by a conductor having unit length. Resistivity is resistance offered by a conductor having unit length and unit cross-sectional area. R is equal to, we know that Ohm's law V equal to I into R. Ohm's law V equal to I into R. That V is the potential difference, I is current, and R is the resistance unit. Resistance R is equal to rho into L divided by A. Resistance R is equal to rho into L divided by A. The rho is resistivity. Rho is resistivity. L is length of the conductor. L is length of the conductor. A is cross-sectional area of the conductor. A is cross-sectional area of the conductor. This rho is resistivity. So we can redo this as rho is equal to R into A divided by L. So we can say that resistivity of a wire is resistance offered by a conductor having unit cross-sectional area and unit length. That is resistivity. Unit for resistance. Unit for resistance is ohm. Unit for resistance is ohm. Unit for resistivity. Unit for resistivity is, for resistance it is ohm. For area it is meter square. For length it is meter. For length it is meter. So for resistivity unit is ohm meter. For resistivity unit is ohm meter. Now look at this graph. See, in the first graph, as temperature increases, resistivity also increases. It's almost linear. Whereas in the second case, where temperature increases, see that resistance increases, but it is not linear. See, in the third case, where temperature increases, resistivity decreases. If you say resistivity decreases, it means resistance decreases. Okay, R equal to rho into L by L. So this is for conductors, and this also for conductors at low temperature, and this is for semiconductors. We can say this is positive temperature coefficient. This also we can say this is for positive temperature coefficient, because when temperature increases, resistivity increases. So we can say that conductors have positive temperature coefficient, whereas semiconductors, they have negative temperature coefficient. Semiconductors have negative temperature coefficient, because for semiconductors, when temperature increases, resistivity decreases. Temperature is taken in Kelvin. SI unit for temperature is Kelvin. Resistivity, ohm meter. For resistivity unit is ohm meter. Example for semiconductors, we know it is germanium and silicon. Isn't it? Germanium and silicon are examples which are often used. Germanium and silicon are examples for semiconductors. For conductors, you can give example copper, aluminium. Okay. Whereas for, if you take a alloy like nichrome, we get the graph like this. Temperature in Kelvin, resistivity in ohm meter. We get almost graph like this. It is also not linear, but anyhow, when temperature increases, resistivity increases. So alloy like nichrome also, they have positive temperature coefficient. When temperature increases, resistivity for conductor increases. So they have positive temperature coefficient. For example, copper and aluminium. For alloys like nichrome, when temperature increases, resistivity increases. They also have positive temperature coefficient. But when you compare these two, it is not linear. For semiconductors, when temperature increases, resistivity decreases, example, germanium and silicon, they have negative temperature coefficient. We can say they have negative temperature coefficient. Rho is equal to R into A by L. Resistivity is resistance of a conductor having unit cross-sectional area and a unit length. Reciprocal to resistance is conductance. Reciprocal to resistance is conductance. G is equal to 1 by R. G is equal to 1 by R. Reciprocal to resistivity is conductivity. Reciprocal to resistance is conductance. Reciprocal to resistivity, that is sigma. Sigma is equal to 1 by rho. Sigma is equal to 1 by rho. R is resistance. R is resistance will oppose flow of electrons. Resistance will oppose flow of electrons. Okay. Reciprocal to resistivity is resistance is conductance. So its unit for resistance is ohm, isn't it? Then for conductance we say unit for conductance is mho, mho, reverse to that, mho, actually it is represented like this, mho. Whereas unit for resistance is ohm, its unit is ohm, ohm. Unit for resistivity is ohm meter, then unit for conductivity is reverse to that, reciprocal of it. So you can write that for sigma unit is mho, mho per meter. Okay. Sometimes for conductance unit is represented as Siemens. Yes, it is also unit Siemens. Yes, Siemens. Unit for conductance instead of mho we can use S also. That is Siemens. So resistance is which opposes flow of electrons in a conductor. Resistivity is resistance offered by a conductor having unit length and unit cross-sectional area. Conductivity is reciprocal to resistivity. Conductivity is reciprocal to resistivity. Now, you can just get relation between the Ohm's law in some other form. You can write Ohm's law in some other form where we have for Ohm's law V equal to I into R. Ohm's law we have V is equal to I into R. V equal to I into R, where R is resistance, isn't it? That's equal to I into R. R equal to rho into L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A. Resistance R is equal to rho into L by A. We can write this as V divided by L. V divided by L is equal to I divided by A into rho. I divided by A into rho. Rho is resistivity. Reciprocal of resistivity is conductivity. So we shall write this as that's equal to I divided by A into 1 by sigma. V by L. V is potential difference. L is distance or length. Okay. From the equation, electric field is negative potential gradient. E is equal to minus dV by dx. Electric field E is equal to minus dV by dx. Electric field is negative potential gradient. From that equation, we can write V by L as E, electric field. V by L as E, electric field. And this can be rewritten as, you see that sigma into E is equal to, I divided by A. Sigma into E is equal to I divided by A, where I divided by A is current density J. So current density J is equal to I divided by A. Current density is a vector quantity. Current is a scalar quantity, but current density is a vector quantity. Current density is current flowing through a conductor perpendicular to the cross-sectional area. Current density J, I by A, unit of current is ampere. This is a cross-sectional area. Therefore, ampere per meter square is the unit for current density. Current density can also be written as J is equal to sigma into E. Current density can also be written as sigma into E. This is, you can derive this from Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. Ohm's law is V is equal to I into R is very important equation. Based on this, we will get numerical problems, and current density J is equal to I by A, or current density J is equal to sigma into E. That is also another equation to calculate J. This we get from Ohm's law. So, what we have to recall from this is that resistivity is resistance offered by a conductor having unit cross sectional area and unit length. Let us go to next slide. This is resistors in series. When the resistors are connected in series, what will be the effective resistance? What will be the effective resistance? When the resistors are connected in series, actually effective resistance increases. When the resistors are connected in series, actually effective resistance increases. See, in this circuit, there are three resistors that are connected to a common battery. Therefore, voltage across R1 will be V1, voltage across R2, let us take it as V2, voltage across R3, let us take it as V3. And I is the current flowing through this. As all the three resistors are connected in series, I1, I2, I3 all will be the same. I3. Okay. This will be equal to I. I2 will also be equal to I. I3 will also be equal to I because they are connected in series. Whereas potential difference will differ. Where potential difference V will be equal to, this total potential difference V will be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Just we are going to apply Ohm's law. Ohm's law equation is V equal to I into R. V equal to I into R. Steady current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference between two ends of the wire at a constant temperature. In Ohm's law statement, we say that steady current flowing through a wire or a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference between two ends of the conductor when temperature remains constant. Okay. Why the temperature should remain constant, that we have seen now. How resistance or resistivity changes with respect to temperature. So, V equal to I into R. Ohm's law. From this we can write that for the resistor R1, we can write that V1 is equal to I1 into R1. V1 equal to I1 into R1. That is equal to I into R1. Then V2 is equal to I2 into R2. Potential difference across resistor 2. V2 is equal to I2 into R2. That is equal to I into R2 because current is the same in series connection. V3 is equal to I3 into R3. That's equal to I into R3. Whereas this potential across all the three, the common potential V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So, this is equal to V1 equal to I into R1, this is I into R2 plus I into R3 Take I common, then you get R1 plus R2 plus R3, Whereas here if you apply Ohm's law across the battery V, again you can write V equal to I into R. I is the current, it will be the same. Whereas R is the effective resistance of all the three resistors connected in series. Then we can take it as R suffix S. So we write R suffix S is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, R1 plus R2 plus R3. Effective resistance of resistors connected in series. Effective resistance of resistors connected in series is equal to sum of the individual resistors value. So what we can understand that when the resistors are connected in series, the effective resistance value increases. When the resistors are connected in series, the effective resistance is more than the individual resistor value because it increases. The R suffix is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, just by applying Ohm's law, we can find out the effective resistance in series. In case of capacitors, when the capacitors are connected in series, the final equation is different. In case of capacitors, it's different. Okay, in case of capacitors, the final equation is different. 1 by Cs equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. When capacitors are connected in series, the effective capacitance value is 1 by Cs equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. It's just opposite to this. Hope you understand this. Let us go to next slide. This is resistors connected in parallel. When the resistors connected in parallel. This is parallel connection. Therefore, the potential difference across all resistors will be the same. Just like our household electrical power supply, it's a parallel connection. The power supplied from the electricity board for our home, it's parallel. We are taking parallel connection. Whether it is a bulb or fan or TV, whatever it is, it's parallel connection. The potential difference is around the 230 voltage. Potential difference across the fan, potential difference across the TV circuit or a mixie, grinder, whatever it will be, 230 voltage. It's because it's a parallel connection. So this is voltage. All the three resistors are in parallel. Therefore, this V1 will be equal to V, V2 will be equal to V, and V3 will also be equal to V. Then you just see this is a junction. This is also a junction. You can apply Kirchhoff's rule here. Kirchhoff's rule, first rule. Kirchhoff's first rule is known as junction rule. Algebraic sum of current meeting at a junction is 0. Kirchhoff's first rule is that algebraic sum of current meeting at a junction is 0. So if just look at this circuit, you see that the current I is flowing towards the junction. I1 is flowing away from junction. I2 is also flowing away from junction. I3 is also flowing away from junction. So if you are applying Kirchhoff's first rule to the junction, what we get? We get I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Algebraic sum of current meeting at a junction is 0. If current is flowing towards the junction, we should take it as positive. If current is flowing away from junction, we should take it as negative. I1 is flowing towards the junction. Therefore, it is plus I. I1 is flowing away from junction. Therefore, minus I1. I2 is flowing away from junction. Therefore, minus I2. I3 is flowing away from junction. I3. That is equal to 0. This is Kirchhoff's first rule. Kirchhoff's first rule is also known as junction rule. Kirchhoff's first rule is based on law of conservation of charge. Kirchhoff's second rule is loop rule. It is based on law of conservation of energy. Algebraic sum of product of current and resistance in a closed circuit is equal to algebraic sum of EMF of the closed circuit. That is Kirchhoff's second rule. It is also known as the voltage rule or loop rule. It is based on law of conservation of energy. Kirchhoff's first rule is junction rule. Okay. It is algebraic sum of charges meeting at a junction is 0. It is based on law of conservation of charges. So from this we write this equation, that is I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I3. Okay. And if you apply Ohm's law for all the resistors, okay, you can get that Ohm's law is V equal to I into R. Then you write that I is equal to V divided by R. We get I equal to V divided by R. Then we can write that I1 equal to V1 divided by R1. And I2 is equal to V2 divided by R2. And I3 is equal to V3 divided by R3. Applying Kirchhoff's rule, we get that we have here current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. If you substitute here, what we get? V1 divided by R1 plus V2 divided by R2 plus V3 divided by R3 plus V3 divided by R3. V1 is potential difference across R1. V2 is potential difference across R2. V3 is potential difference across R3. All these V1, V2, V3 are equal to V because it is in parallel connection. It is in parallel connection. So apply Ohm's law here also. I equal to V by R. Then we can write V divided voltage across the battery where the resistors are connected in parallel in the circuit, that is equal to V divided by R1 plus V divided by R2 plus V divided by R3 plus V divided by R3. Let us take V common. Okay. You can take that in the left side. We have V divided by RP, that is equal to, if you take V common, then you get 1 divided by R1 plus 1 divided by R2 plus 1 divided by R3 plus 1 divided by R3. dV gets cancelled. Then we get 1 by RP equal to 1 by RP is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R3. This is effective resistance of resistors when they are connected in parallel. Reciprocal of effective resistance of resistors connected in parallel is equal to sum of the reciprocal of individual resistance. Effective resistance of resistors connected in parallel, reciprocal value, is equal to sum of the reciprocal of individual resistors values. Okay, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. In case of resistors in series, R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. That's what we got in it. It is just opposite in the case of capacitors. For capacitors, we get, in case of parallel combination, we have Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. For capacitors connected in parallel, Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Just we are applying Ohm's law and equating these two, and we get the final equation. So to understand this, we will go to the next concept. This is about carbon resistors. We are using carbon resistors like this. And it will be there in all circuits, even mobile phone, charger, rectifier. In all circuits, the resistors will be there. Okay. For different color, different values are assigned. For different color, for the carbon resistors, different color, different values are there. Okay. For example, you see here black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, grey, white, gold, silver, and if there is no color. Values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It's a multiplier, and then tolerance. Okay, plus or minus. How much the resistor value will fluctuate, will change. It will not be, it may be exact value, sometimes it may not be exact value, how much it will change. That's tolerance, plus or minus, that value is also given. B.B. Roy, just to keep it in mind, we can recall like this. B.B. Roy of Great Britain had very good wife. B.B. Roy of Great Britain had very good white. You can keep like this in memory to recall the colors. Black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, grey and white. Numbers go like this. For example, if you have a carbon resistor like this, you can calculate the resistor value. We have brown, black, brown, and you see a gold color is there, isn't it? What is the first color we have? We have brown. The first color we have, you see that the first color, this is first color, isn't it? That is brown. What is second color? That is black. What is third one? That is brown. The fourth color is gold. That gives tolerance. Brown. What is the number for brown? For brown, number allotted is 1. So take it as 1. For brown it is 1. Black. For black it is 0. So 1 and then 0. Again brown we have brown, that is 1. We should take it as 10 power 1. The third color we have to take it as multiplier. So it is 10 power 1. It is 10 power 1. So it is 10 power 1. This is gold, isn't it? Gold. For gold, you see that for gold it is plus or minus 5% of tolerance. Plus or minus 5% of tolerance. So this is 1, 0. 10 power 1 is 10, isn't it? 10 power 1 is 10. Plus or minus 5%. So you can write this as 100 ohm. This is 100 ohm plus or minus 5%. Plus or minus 5%. Therefore, the carbon resistor value, it may be 95 ohm. It may be 90. It will vary from 95 ohm to 105 ohm. It will vary from 95 ohm to 105 ohm. It may have plus or minus 5% of value. First color is brown, second color is black, third one is brown. The color which is given here is gold. For brown, number is 1. For black, number is 0. And then for brown, 1. Then take it as multiplier. Third one, you take it as multiplier, 10 power 1. And for the gold, it is plus or minus 5%. 10 power 1 is 10, so 10 into 10 is 100. Therefore, resistance of this carbon is 100 ohm. It's a plus or minus 5%. Therefore, we can say that its value may vary from 95 ohm to 105 ohm. Like this, we can find out a resistance for carbon resistors. We have one more resistor here. That also we can check it out. B.B. Roy of Great Britain had very good voice. Keep it in mind. So for this one, you see the first color is green. Green. We have green there. First color is green. And the second one is blue. Second one is blue. And the third one is orange. Third one is orange. Third one orange. And the final color is gold. Final one is gold. First one is green, isn't it? First one is green. For green, its value is 5. Therefore, write 5. Black. Sorry, it's blue. It's blue. For blue it is 6. So take it as 6. And then orange. Third color is orange. For orange it is 3, but the third one we should take it as multiplier, that is 10 power 3. Therefore, it is 10 power 3. Gold, for gold it is plus or minus 5%. For gold it is plus or minus 5%. For gold it is plus or minus 5%. So, we can write this as 56. Okay, we should write it 56. 10 power 3. 56 into 10 power 3 ohm. Plus or minus 5%, plus or minus 5%. So, this is nothing but 56 kilo ohm, 56 kilo ohm, plus or minus 5%, plus or minus 5%. Variation, fluctuation, tolerance, plus or minus 5%. Therefore, resistance of the given resistor here it is 100 ohm and this one is 56 kilo ohm, 56 kilo ohm. This is how we can calculate resistance value of the carbon resistors with the given color. Hope you understand this. And the topics what we discussed today is about resistivity. Okay, resistivity. Resistivity is resistance offered by a conductor having unit length and unit cross sectional area. Resistivity is resistance offered by a wire having unit cross sectional area and unit length. R is equal to, we have R is equal to rho into L divided by R is equal to rho into L divided by A. Rho is resistivity. Rho is equal to R into A divided by L. Rho is equal to R into A divided by L. Okay. Whereas for some materials called superconductors, let us discuss what are superconductors. Okay. In superconductors, what happens when the temperature increases? Okay, if you decrease the temperature, what happens? The resistivity comes to 0. The resistivity comes to 0. The resistivity decreases and then suddenly it drops to 0. And this temperature is called critical temperature or transition temperature. Superconducting transition temperature or critical temperature. Superconducting transition temperature or critical temperature is the temperature at which a conductor becomes superconductor. For superconductors, resistance is 0. For superconductors, resistance is 0. Generally, when we draw graph, even for conductors, temperature in Kelvin and for resistivity, we don't start at 0. It will not start at origin. Okay, we just start from here. This indicates that there is some resistance. This indicates that even at absolute 0, there is some resistance. Whereas in case of superconductors, you just see that here resistivity is 0. For superconductors, resistivity is 0 at a particular temperature. So resistance is 0. The temperature at which resistance or resistivity becomes 0 is called critical temperature or superconducting transition temperature. Superconducting transition temperature. Whereas even for mercury becomes superconductor at almost 4.2 Kelvin. 4.2 Kelvin. Okay, even if you take it as 4 Kelvin, it comes around almost minus 269 degrees Celsius. Minus 269 degrees Celsius. It's very difficult to maintain the temperature. Okay. So today's topic, what we discussed is that resistivity, resistors in series, resistors in parallel, and carbon resistors. Hope in this part 2 you have learned this concept. Hope these videos are very much useful to you. In the forthcoming topics, we shall discuss other topics. Okay. Students, thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Our school, Sri Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, is uploading videos for class 11 and 12 students for all topics, for all chapters, for all lessons. Please make use of these videos. We hope these videos will help you to understand the concept better and score very good marks in the board examination. இந்த வீடியோஸ்லாம் தொடர்ந்து பாருங்க. உங்களுக்கு எங்க யூடியூப் சேனல் இந்த கான்செப்ட்லாம் உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருந்தா, யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, ஓகே, அண்ட் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. அண்ட் we expect your feedback. Positive feedback இருக்கலாம், negative feedback இருக்கலாம். To improve our performance, we need your feedback and support. Okay. Thank you children. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Thank you.